I have had my fair share of controversial takes, and what's great about those is you get to hear people tell you how wrong you are. Sometimes they're even right about it. But I'm having a hard time imagining that this is going to be controversial. So I was going through Steam looking through Backrooms games because I want to play a Backrooms game with my friend group. And obviously, there is a considerable list of Backrooms games. Like, just look at this, just massive list of Backrooms games. And occasionally, there's a game in there that's not actually a Backrooms game, but they're kind of like close or adjacent or whatever. But in doing so, I found a trend among some of these really small developers that hopefully does not catch on, but I want to talk about it before it catches on. Because while it may be just a meme at first, as the internet tends to go, these types of problems tend to escalate dramatically. Just take a look at this specifically. So we have an account here that is 0 Steam level 1. Clearly a brand new account that just showed up out of nowhere. And we have this talking about a game, obviously. I can't think of the last time I've heard people talk like this about a game they actually liked. You know, engaging in innovative, vibrant colors, intricate textures. I think the best part is that 6 people found this helpful. Hopefully they're just memeing. But I remember when Steam reviews actually had some utility to them. This is pretty suspicious and kind of obvious that this isn't a real person that made this. And I believe there's more. This one, I believe, is also one. Although this is level 5 account. So this one may actually be a meme, because it actually looks like there was some type of humanity sprinkled in this. But I want to take a look at a worst example. So this is not a Backrooms game, but I did happen upon it. And there's a post in the discussions page, which you would think the discussions page would be more reliable than the review page, right? And so we have this person obviously not happy with this game because, of course, a co-op spooky game is Lethal Company. That's what they all are, apparently. And what gets me is this right here, referring to one of the monsters in the game. This description. Who talks like this? Okay. Who talks like this? Or maybe this. Slang for evil corporation. You know, I think realistically, if you wanted to abbreviate something called evil corporation, you'd probably just use EC, initials, not this. And you certainly would not have to explain this out. There's just something unrealistic about how this is being done. Now, again, I'm hoping that this is just people memeing because it's funny. But it kind of gets in the way of trying to figure out if a game is even worth considering or not. And whether it's memes or it's the actual developers trying to deceive their customers, regardless of which thing it is, it adds unnecessary noise when you're trying to decide, should I play this game or not? In a world where it's already becoming more difficult to trust the validity of game journalist reviews, as some of them have really missed the mark lately, combined with, these ChatGPT responses, I can imagine that this is only going to get worse as time goes on. And we're going to end up with like the fake Amazon reviews kind of world, but for Steam reviews. And with so many indie games around, trying to sift through the noise can be kind of difficult. And all of this unnecessary noise being added, whether it's the devs intentionally misleading customers or it's people being funny because they think ChatGPT is funny somehow. This is such a stupid trend, in my opinion. I don't even care if people are doing it because they think it's funny. It's just annoying. But especially if the developers are the ones curating this kind of stuff, that's even worse. Because now you're being deceptive in your marketing tactics to try and conjure up false hype for a game. This is not a good thing. This ends up making things more difficult for the customer in the long term. And it does hurt the integrity, not just of the review page in general, which is already kind of fallen off as time goes on, but it can be a bad look for the developer as well, especially if people find out that the developers were intentionally doing it and it wasn't just memers. But I wanted to call this out. I'm not blaming the developers specifically of those two games, because I don't know if the developer themselves are the ones doing it. But it's certainly not a good look, and I don't like it, and I'm calling it out, whoever it is that's actually responsible. Because if this continues, it's just going to become an absolute mess, and the dead internet theory becomes ever closer to being true. So I guess we can enjoy watching ChatGPT talk to itself through Steam now, because of course that's the way the world's going. But I think I've made my case. And that is my rant for today. If you've had your own experience of weird stuff like this, let me know in the comments below. But if you did make it to the end, I'm kind of surprised you did. So, thank you for watching.